Hello friend, I want to tell you about the Mitsubishi Carisma car. Japanese cars of the mid-1990s were renowned for their reliability. This is why a large number of drivers chose Japanese production over its European competitors. Unfortunately, those who opted for the Mitsubishi Carisma had a tough time. What was supposed to be the model's strength became its curse. I always start with petrol engines, but this time diesels are my first choice. Which one is best? Unfortunately, neither boasts particularly high durability or dynamics. They're quite adequate. Nevertheless, the 1.9 TD engine found in the Renault Laguna Voix, for example, presents significantly fewer problems. You'll need a fair amount of luck to find a trouble-free model. Those who aren't lucky will be doomed to injection pump failure, head gasket damage, or engine oil leaks. The second diesel, designated DID, is actually also a Renault design. This engine not only suffers from turbocharger seizure, but also frequently suffers from common rail injection system failures. Maintenance costs are also significantly higher. To avoid timing belt failure, it should be replaced every 80,000 to 90,000 kilometers. Petrol engines, on the other hand, are much more durable, but unfortunately not all of them. You certainly won't be able to find the 1.3-liter version, as it wasn't available in the European market. The 1.6-liter engine, while it may seem underpowered, handles the Carisma surprisingly well in practice. It's relatively flexible, but it accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 12 seconds. The automatic transmission worsens this result by about 2 seconds, so I definitely don't recommend it. The best choice will be the 116 or 140 horsepower 1.8-liter engine. Both are relatively dynamic and consume only slightly more fuel than the 1.6-liter. It's not worth opting for the modern 1.8 GDI unit with direct injection. Carbon deposits begin to accumulate in the cylinder head over time. Theoretically, the problem mainly affects models from the first years of production, but in reality it can also occur in newer cars. It's a shame, because it's an innovative engine with quite interesting characteristics, which unfortunately has become the curse of this model. In the front suspension of the Mitsubishi Carisma, the Japanese used a classic wishbone system with McPherson struts, and in the rear a multi-link system. In the Euro NCAP crash tests conducted in 2001, the car received only 3 stars. This is a very average result, even for those years. Any grinding or difficulty in inserting them indicates worn bearings. Unfortunately, this is a common problem with this model. Many units also suffer from damage to the clutch slave cylinder and master cylinder. The front suspension can be fickle, especially in pre-modernized cars, and performs poorly on our roads. Damage is primarily caused by the wishbones, stabilizer links, and upper McPherson strut bearings. When choosing a pre-facelift model, be sure to inspect the wheel arches, sills, undercarriage, and fuel filler neck, as corrosion is a common problem. Mitsubishi Carisma owners complain about creaking and cracking interior plastics. The engine and front suspension components pose the most problems. To make matters worse, there aren't many replacement parts available, and original parts are quite expensive. This model's shortcomings undoubtedly include its overly conservative styling and underwhelming interior. However, the car also has its advantages. It's worth appreciating its responsive 1.8-liter engine, good handling, and quite spacious interior. If you've been considering buying a Mitsubishi Carisma for a while, it's a much safer bet to choose a reconditioned model, free of many of its childhood ailments. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and rate my video. If you know of any issues with this car that I haven't mentioned, be sure to share them in the comments.